Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, EllaeenahJadeFire. I am delighted to bring to you this new podcast, The Power of Being One. We are all one, and we all know that. Let us understand this small but very, very significant word, one. We are one. This could certainly mean that we are the same energy. There are no differences between us, no energy inequalities, no energy distance. The other interpretation of we are one could be that we are unique. In fact, so unique that we are completely different from each other. Certainly with some similarities, but no one is quite like the other. You can see from these two interpretations that one interpretation looks at no difference, whereas the other interpretation views it from a point of view of being different. So which interpretation are we going to adopt? For if you should adopt the interpretation that there is sameness and no difference, are we sacrificing our uniqueness? And if we believe and go along with this interpretation that we are all essentially so unique that beyond a few fundamental similarities, we are completely different from each other, then are we saying that we are not the same and that we do not come from the same God source energy? So here is our conundrum. Are we going to choose just one and therefore by extension reject the other? For me, the answer is a very firm no. When I use this term of oneness, I believe that we are all one essential core energy, that this core energy lies at our soul center, and that we are all unique and very different, and these differences exist in the physicality that surrounds the soul center. And because you and I are both soul and physicality, divine consciousness and earthly consciousness, we must accept and live with both the interpretations of we are one. In fact, I do believe that that is the only way that this human race can not only survive, but can grow and move into a far greater state, advanced state of consciousness. We are unique, and yes, we are different, but at a very, very real level, at what I might call a super sub-layer of reality, we are one energy. And both of these aspects of ourselves are in fact equally essential to us. What you consider to be your uniqueness, your difference, is in effect your unique way of expressing this divine energy that lies at your soul core. And this is what makes you different from me. I shall express my divine core energy in a manner that is completely unique to me. And you shall do the same for yourself. And this is where the problem, if you would like to call it so, creeps in. Our world is caught in the expression instead of expanding their vision to look beyond the expression. When we get stuck in the expression and in the differences that we are able to see in the expressions, we forget that lying beyond these expressions is the one truth, the one source, and that we are expressing this one truth, this one source in our unique ways. The nugget of gold is the one truth, but the world is unable to reach this nugget of gold because the shine and shimmer of the expression dazzles us and makes us blind to the reality, to the one truth, to the one source. If we could move beyond the razzle and dazzle of the expression to the one nugget of gold, we shall instantly be able to live. We shall be able to live in the consciousness of that super sublayer of the one energy realness. Repeatedly in messages, my cosmic master JadeFire and other cosmic masters who channel through me, cosmic masters who are channeling through other strong psychics and channels, are continuing to urge us to remember, to move beyond the expression, to understanding what is being expressed. This one energy that we are all expressing in our different and unique ways. This one energy has so many facets, much like a brilliant diamond whose brilliance is attributed to the fact that it has several facets. In fact, the more facets that a diamond has, the more precious it is considered to be. This precious one energy, this precious one energy has its facets, its aspects, its qualities, and all of these demand expression. Each of these facets, aspects, and qualities require a unique expression. And that is why you and I are so vital in this divine plan. Your expression is needed just as mine is. You shall express a particular facet, aspect, and quality, and I shall be able to express a completely different facet, aspect, and quality. We should not forget, though, that we are expressing facets, aspects, and qualities of one precious, sacred gem. For example, let us look at the aspect of power, divine power. One person might express this aspect of power as a lack of reaction, where there is a depth of inner stillness which prompts that person to just be and not do. That person shall express the power of the one source by adopting beingness rather than doership. Another might express the power aspect by using the force and might of communication through word. A third might express the same aspect by choosing the medium of action. If we get caught in these three diverse ways of expressing the same quality, we might mistake the silence as weakness. We might mistake the action as the only valid expression of divine power. How often have you and I advised ourselves and others to speak our truth? Can we, in fact, change this and now view it differently and advise ourselves and others to express our truth? Truth can be expressed without words. Truth can be expressed without an obvious action. Truth can be expressed without resorting to doership. Truth can be expressed in an action, and truth can be expressed in stillness. Each one takes on this unique expression depending upon who they are, depending upon how that particular facet, aspect, and quality of the divine oneness resonates with them. We do not need to say or do or be anything in order to seek the validation and the approval of others. When we do that, we get caught in untruth, the untruth of expression, because we are forcing ourselves to express the one truth in the way another expresses it, thereby sacrificing our unique beingness. To remain in our power, to express our truth, to experience the constancy of the one energy, we must express this in a manner that is essentially and completely our very own. For someone, the spoken word might be an incomplete expression. For another, it might be a complete expression. For a third, it might not be needed at all. Can we then judge either of these as right or wrong? For how can it be wrong if it is your resonance? How can it be wrong if it is the resonance of another? This resonance is the consciousness of Shiva that is being expressed by you and I. We are the shakti of Shiva. We are the expression of this consciousness. To judge any expression as good or bad, or as evil or honorable, is to judge the consciousness of Shiva, is to judge the shakti of the Shiva consciousness. There are so many facets and aspects and qualities of this Shiva consciousness, of this one truth, this one source. Even the term Shiva consciousness is in fact just that. It is a term that I might use. You, on the other hand, might use an entirely different term. For example, you might use the term God to describe the same one truth, the same one source. Does it mean then that my name is right and yours is wrong, or that your name is right and mine is wrong? There is a cliched saying, a rose by any name would smell as sweet. This is so important to understand. Just because I change the name, it does not mean that the sweetness, the radiance, the joy of its color and fragrance has changed by even an iota. If I were to look at you and call you by another name, you would still know that I am talking to you and referring to you, because you can see that I am looking at you, focusing upon you. And this is where the answer lies. The expression is not unimportant. The expression is not insignificant. But beyond the expression, we must learn to recognize and appreciate the energy focus of that expression. The energy that is being looked at, that is being referred to by that expression. That energy focus is what joins us all to each other. When we get lost in the action, when we get lost in the word, when we get lost in the silence, we are unable to see the one single point of energy focus. All scriptures tell us this one fact, that there is nothing present in this manifested world that is not divinely co-created, that is not divine consciousness at play. This means, therefore, that every word, every action, every non-action and every moment of silence is in fact divine consciousness, Shiva consciousness, God consciousness at play in this manifested world. Where then can there be judgment? There is judgment because you and I get caught in our own expressions of the consciousness. And we get so caught in that we firmly believe that it is right. And it is right. It is right for us. Your expression is right for you. My expression is right for me. And if I chose any other expression, it would not be right for me. But my expression may not be right for another. And to consider that my expression is the only right expression is what creates conflicts in our thoughts and conflicts in our interactions and relationships. We also know that where our focus goes, energy flows. As soon as conflict arises within us or outside of us, our focus is entirely captured by that conflict. And we begin to energize that conflict, make it stronger, make it deeper. We give it the legs to run. We give it the wings to fly. We give it the power to expand. Think of a situation of conflict on a global level. One nation at war with another. The attention of the whole world is focused upon that one conflict. We are adding power to that conflict. We may not hold the guns and the bombs in our hands, but by our energy being focused upon the conflict, we are giving it strength. So does this mean that we should ignore such conflicts? No. We must focus upon the conflicts, but we must focus upon it without losing touch with our consciousness, without losing touch with the one truth that this, what we are calling conflict, is also the play of consciousness in the manifested world. if we can focus upon that situation, holding on to this one truth, firmly planting our energy feet upon the foundation of one source, one energy, our focus of energy will be completely different. We shall be viewing the conflict through the vision of togetherness, oneness, unity. And where our focus goes, energy flows. And so we come back to I am one. Attempt to look within yourself and to recognize what aspect, what quality, what facet of the one energy, of the one divine gem are you expressing? What is this one aspect, one facet, one quality that your soul so profoundly resonates with? It is only when you know this that your energy shall go and remain rooted in this aspect, in this quality, in this facet. When you do not know what your soul resonates with, you are like a rudderless boat and you are pulled in all directions by the examples that others set. Examples that might be significant and honorable and noble, but are not your soul's resonance. You must find your soul's resonance. There is a simple way to do this. Write down the words that strongly resonate with you without judging yourself. Let me give you an example. The word power resonates very strongly for me. In fact, even with the word love, my resonance comes from the power of love. Your resonance might come from the gentleness of love. Another's might come with the service of love. Identify the words that you strongly resonate with. And in those words will lie your answer. To which aspect, to which facet, and to which quality of Shiva consciousness, divine consciousness, one source, does your soul resonate with? And then your focus must be upon that resonance and that resonance alone. simultaneously respecting the expressions of all other beings, knowing that their expressions emanate from their unique resonances. We often use the words negativity. This person's actions are negative. This person's thoughts are negative. My feelings are negative. Let us consider this word that I am not particularly fond of. Negative. In my opinion, the only thing that is negative is my non-alignment with my soul resonance. If a thought does not align with your soul's resonance, then you can call that thought negative. If your word, if your action does not align with your soul's resonance, then that is what you can call negative. But I do not have the right, the divine right to call your thought, your word, and your action negative because it does not align with my soul's resonance. I have the divine right, I have the divine permission to use that word negative if I should choose to do so, to only describe my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own words, and my own actions. If I do not know your soul's resonance, then I do not have the permission to judge its expression. And the truth is that you and I are aware of only our own resonance. Judgment does not only come in the form of condemnation. It comes in the form of pity. It comes in the form of sadness. If I pity someone, if I am sad about a situation, it is because I have not been able to grasp the one truth, the one consciousness, the one divine source energy behind the expression. And because I have not been able to grasp it, I either condemn it, or I pity it, or I am saddened by it, or I am confused by it. These are all forms of judgment. Some forms of judgment are apparent and obvious, and others are so subtle. But whether they are strong or subtle, judgment comes from our inability to recognize the one energy behind the expression of the one energy. Often have I been asked, what is my purpose? What is my mission? Why am I here on earth? You and I have one common purpose. In fact, there is no one on earth who does not have that purpose. And that purpose is to be the shakti of the Shiva consciousness, to be the expression of divine consciousness, to recognize the play of consciousness in this manifested world, the play of consciousness through me and the play of consciousness through you. I recognize the separation of you and me, and I recognize that if I allow myself to look beyond, I shall see only the one ocean of energy. The wave is very important, for it is the wave that crashes upon the shore, and it is the wave that thrills us. If you are a swimmer and you are a surfer, you know the excitement, the delight, the thrill of the waves. But when you are done with the swimming and the surfing, and you sit by the ocean and look out into the far distance, your vision can only see the infinite, ever-stretching expanse of that one ocean that is indivisible. Try as you might, you cannot view it as a separate, you cannot view it as different streams of water. And then you bring your focus back from that distance to the shore that is so close to you. And once again, you can see the individual waves playing with each other, crashing down. And once again, you move your vision to the horizon that has no end. And all you can see is that undivided one ocean. The ocean has remained constant. What has changed is where you are looking. Are you looking at the expanse, or are you looking at the wave? And once again, it would be erroneous to say that we must only look at the waves, or we must only look at the expanse. For why has the ocean given you both these wonderful sights to see and enjoy? Because both these experiences are as vital. When you experience the waves, you are calmed and filled with the silent expanse of the ocean. And when you are filled with the silent expanse of the ocean, you can thrill in the delight of the waves even more. Is there really a choice? Do you have a choice to choose the uniqueness of separation all by itself? Do you have the choice to choose the oneness of consciousness all by itself? For me, the answer is no. I have already made that choice when my soul chose the human experience. I have already made the choice to enjoy, to experience the uniqueness of separation and the oneness of energy. But I do have a choice of where I choose to focus my energy, of where I choose to focus my sight. And sometimes I choose to focus it and play with the individual waves. And sometimes I choose to look out and fill myself with the peace of oneness. And because I know that I have the divine right to choose this, I know that so do you. So do you. So do you. Have a wonderful day. Big hug.